All right, good morning, everybody. Good to see all of you. 2015. Whew, I know. Hey, so did you all have a good time at the Boy Scout crab feed last night? Yeah. I can tell you still got a little piece of crab, right? No, I'm kidding. That's great. That's wonderful. So it's such a wonderful event. As some of you may or may not know, I am a Troop 50 Eagle Scout as well. Boy Scout troop, my picture's in the hallway. I'm that young guy going like this, you know. Yeah, so there's a lot of great history and great memories I have with our scouting program. So we'd like to thank all of you for supporting all of our wonderful programs here. This weekend, the minister's assistants and Reverend Bob and Reverend Patty, they are all hosting the 10th annual YAC reunion retreat in Mountain View. And they hold this retreat every year, right around this Martin Luther King holiday weekend. And, you know, it's really hard to believe that it's been 10 years already. You know, you hear us talking about this retreat every year, and we've been doing this program for 10 long years already. It's truly amazing, you know, 10 years. And when you say the word 10 years, you realize how quickly the time passes us by, right? 10 years flies by in the blink of an eye. I mean, our daughter Ellie is 10 years old, you know, 5th grade Oshoko reps, right? And I'm looking, I go, oh my gosh, my child's in 5th, you know, 10 years old already, 10 years. And when you look back over 10 years, it feels like, you know, not that long ago, or maybe long ago, but, you know, it doesn't feel like that long though, right? You know, the time passes so quickly. People tell you that all the time. I mean, I remember the day she was born, like it was yesterday. You know, when you're new, it's your first child, and TV's terrible because every image you have of pregnancy is from TV, and you think it's going to be like, oh, the baby's coming, and you got to go run and get the suitcase, jump in the car, and speed to the hospital, but it really wasn't like that. Was it like that for some of you, though? No? It wasn't like that, right? She had contractions, and we had almost 24 hours, and we were all together going, oh, my, should we go in now? Should we wait? Calling the advice nurse. It wasn't like that, you know, but I remember that so vividly, even though it was 10 years ago. I remember Ellie being an infant baby because she never wanted to go to sleep. She cried all the time. They don't tell you that on TV either, right? All you see is, oh, so cute, right? They don't tell you crying all night. I used to drive to the drive-thru. I'd go from Elk Grove to Roseville, you know, just driving in the car with her in the infant seat, you know, and we'd drive around because that was the only way to get her to sleep. And I remember I would walk around the court with her in a little blanket. And I remember when they're a baby, too, you're so careful and so cautious, right? I don't think she ever spent a moment unattended, either with my eyes or Janet's eyes on her for the first couple years, which is a bit excessive, but you know, you're new to it. But I remember all of it, even though it was 10 years ago, I remember it all so vividly. This is probably why we only have one child, huh? I remembered all that. No. But as many of you will attest to, when you have your second kid, it's a little different, huh? You know, first kid, you're like, oh, second kid, drop it in the dirt, brush it off, it's fine. Here you go, you know. I remember the first day she started preschool, you know. We went to Park Vista. Have any of you gone to Park Vista by the zoo instead of, yeah, Park Vista. Is Miss Malk still there? Miss Nelson, are they still there? Yeah, okay, they're still there. But I remember preschool's a big milestone. I was nervous to let her go. You know, she's been with us her whole life. Is she going to be okay? I mean, oh, is she going to make it? Is she going to cry? And we opened the door and she was like, all right, see ya. And just took off, right? I was like, bye, you know, we're all, But, you know, I remember all those days. And even kindergarten, another big milestone. You know, we're at the new school, and who are the teachers? What's the protocol? We're all new parents standing around. Who's that parent? You know, it was all new. But I remember it. I really remember it like it was yesterday, even though it was 10 long years ago. And there are so many, obviously, there's so many more milestones in her life, you know, in every child's life as you're growing up. Growing, learning, changing, experiencing. And now that she's 10, she's in those double digits, right? The big 10. Just like 10 years of YSC has passed. So it's really made me think about that for today's talk. Where has the time gone? And now that she's a big girl, going to church, being a Girl Scout, singing in her little musicals, oh, here's she's in Shrek this week, Shrek Jr. So everything in my mind is like, You know, long time ago, there lived an ogre in it, you know. So it's all Shrek now. Everything's Shrek, Shrek, Shrek. Anyway, so we'll be done with that this week. But anyway, before you know it, you know, you blink and your kid grows up. So we ask you all today, this morning, what do you want your memories to be when the next 10 years passes you by? Or the next 20 years? Or if you're lucky, the next 50 years? What memories do you want to create for your future? Because the memories of tomorrow are created today. So if you live your lives without ever learning or experiencing anything new, each day is just going to blend into the next, right? And if you stop trying to improve yourself and expand your mind, you'll get stuck and the world's just going to kind of pass you by. I read somewhere, successful habits of, you know, really successful people, they are constantly investing in themselves. Constantly investing in themselves, whether they're learning something new or experiencing something new or creating new memories. And here we are in the new year, and can anybody even remember some, you know, things that happened in 2014? We're in 2015. What happened in 2015? What's a memorable thing? Anything? Participatory Sunday service. 2014, recap. You can't even think of anything, look at, or you're too shy. It's hard, but see how quick, that's what I mean. Like a whole year passes by. 2014, quick, go, something. Well, that was your experience. I meant more of a, that's good, though that counts, that counts. Good, thank you. I was looking for more of a general, like maybe even in our country specific to world news or even American news. Malaysian airline, that was a big one. The disappearance of the Malaysian airline. Okay, Ebola. Okay, no. When you're right, young man. I think that was a sale. Looks like a sale. Don't want to embarrass any of the Audrey, but anything happier, guys. No, those are important things. Anything? Well, remember, like, what about like the Sochi Olympics, the Sochi Winter Olympics? That was the first Olympics held in Russia, right? Since the breakup of the Soviet Union. That was a big milestone for them. I mean, it had its challenges, you know, facility-wise, and they had their challenge. But that was a big event, the Sochi. I kept telling Janet that every time they said Sochi, I kept thinking it was in Japan, you know. Janet's all, anyway. Obviously, a big effect that had, you know, a big thing that we're affected by was the drought. Isn't that drought? It's not over yet, guys. Don't start wasting water. And ironically enough, during the drought, they had the ice bucket challenge. So we're in this drought and we're dumping water all over the ground too. Wasn't the ALS ice bucket challenge a huge thing of 2014? Huge. They raised $41.8 billion just from July 29th to August 21st. Isn't that amazing? There were like 1 point whatever million Facebook videos posted. ALS Bucket Challenge. Another, going back to the sad, Joan Rivers passed away in 2014. And whether you liked her comedy or not, you know, she was a pioneer, especially for women in comedy. That's not an easy thing to break through, you know. You know, I'm not saying that I like Joan Rivers. I always thought she was mean, because all I remember her doing was criticizing people, right? Look at her wearing that dress on the red carpet. I can't believe it, you know. That's all when I think of Joan Rivers, you guys, the kids don't even know who that is, huh? Well, those colors clash, oh my gosh. Anyway, gas prices fell below $3 a gallon, didn't they? Don't forget that. We all complain when it's $5, but let's cheer when it's under $3. That happened in 2014. You guys got to listen to that song "Happy" by Pharrell. Tell me that's not, because I'm happy, clap along if you see? Yeah, that was 2014, yo, right? That stuck in your head. Frozen. Yeah, exactly. No, let's not do that. Let's not get that one stuck in our head. One thing I remember about 2014 was, anybody watch American Ninja Warrior? You remember, what was her name? Casey Catanzaro? Casey was this 5-foot-tall, 100-pound gymnast, first woman to complete the qualifying course. Remember, we were watching that live on TV. I don't think I've cheered louder for any sporting event ever than watching her complete this American Ninja Warrior. If you haven't seen it, YouTube it. It is inspiring, I'm telling you. It's great. Another sad note, another celebrity we lost was Casey Kasem. You guys remember Casey Kasem? Huge, huge radio DJ. Many of you may not know that he was a voice actor as well. Did you guys know that? Did you know that Casey Kasem was the voice of Shaggy on Scooby-Doo? Scooby-Doo. Did you also know he was the voice of Robin in Super Friends, Batman and Robin? Yeah, you guys remember that? I mean, Casey Kasem would read that. He'd be like, look, Batman, here's a letter from the Riddler. And he writes, Dear Batman and Robin, it's been a long time since I last saw either one of you, but while I was in prison, I came up with the most diabolical plot of all time. A plot to take over Gotham City. But I need a partner. Because I'm the Riddler, I can't tell you who that partner is. But the answer lies in a song from 1973, right? Remember, that was Casey? Yeah. You young guys don't even know who Casey Kasem is. But anyway, this is just an example. When I'm saying all these things, everybody remembers, right? Like, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. But these are just a few things. A lot more things happened, obviously, in 2014. But how many of you have already forgotten about those things as you move on with your daily life, right? These big events happen, but we quickly forget about them and move on. And how many of those things do you think you'll remember next year or the year after that? You know, I'm not saying that each and every day of your life has to be a day of historical proportion, you know, but we should strive to make our lives more meaningful and more memorable each and every day. Just think about what today means. You know, I'm so happy to see all of you here at service today because it's a 3-day weekend. But it's not just a day off from school on Monday. Who knows what this 3-day weekend is for? Go. Martin Luther King Jr., right? Yes, it's the weekend that we celebrate and remember one of the most iconic civil rights leaders in our American history. Huge, huge historical significance. You know, but we don't really think about even that, right? We just say, oh, I'm off school Monday, you know? And I was watching all his speeches online, and it's incredibly powerful just listening to him, you know? I mean, he's up there, I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal. You know, we need to read Golden Chain like that, don't we? Don't we? Then you'd be feeling it, right? I am a link in Amita's golden chain of love that stretches around the world. Will you keep your link bright and strong? Will you be kind and gentle? You know, you'd be feeling it then, right? You're not going to forget. You'll leave service, namandabu, you know, you feel it. But everybody knows that speech, right? And one of his final lines was, you know, I have a dream that my 4 children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character, right? And that's what this weekend is about. That amazing, impactful change and that movement for change and equality to change the world. We talk about change all the time, but that's really what it's about. So, in honor of Martin Luther King and his I Have a Dream speech, I want to ask all of you, what is your dream? And how will you choose to live the days of your life? And what will you choose to accomplish and improve in your life? And how will you try to make your dreams and wishes come true? So today is the day to create meaningful memories for the rest of your life. Today is the day to make a change and challenge yourself to be better and to do better. Live each day well and live each day to the fullest, for tomorrow is guaranteed to none of us. And I just wanted you to know, if anyone here ever needs someone to talk to or to write an email to or just to listen to you, I just wanted you to know that that's definitely something that I am here for you all. So I just wanted to put all that out there for you. And with that, please join me in closing Gassho. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namandavs, namandavs, namandavs.